Coco Gauff continued her impressive summer run at the US Open by defeating Yelena Ostapenko 6-0, 6-2 in the quarterfinals. This marks Gauff's first career semifinal appearance at the US Open and makes her the first American teenager to reach this stage since Serena Williams in 2001. Gauff has won 16 of her last 17 matches, with victories in Washington and Cincinnati preceding her US Open run. Despite her young age, Gauff has faced numerous challenges and expectations, making her current success all the more remarkable. Airbnb has stopped accepting some reservations in New York City following the implementation of new regulations on short-term rentals. The rules are designed to curtail the practice of renting out apartments for short stays, which has contributed to housing scarcity in the city. Under the regulations, rentals shorter than 30 days are only allowed if hosts register with the city and are physically present in the home during the rental. Airbnb has fought these rules in court, but has been forced to comply. Critics argue the regulations are necessary to preserve residential housing. Saudi Arabia and Russia have agreed to extend their voluntary oil production cuts through the end of the year, reducing global oil supply by 1.3 million barrels. This move has driven benchmark Brent crude prices above $90 a barrel, unseen since November. While it boosts energy prices, it may also lead to increased inflation and higher gasoline costs for consumers. The decision puts pressure on Saudi Arabia's relationship with the US, as President Biden had warned of consequences for partnering with Russia while it is involved in the conflict in Ukraine. Nathaniel Veltman, a 22-year-old Canadian man accused of intentionally targeting and murdering 4 members of a Muslim family with his vehicle in London, Ontario in 2021, has pleaded not guilty. He faces 4 counts of first-degree murder and 1 count of attempted murder, including terrorism charges. The trial began with jury selection, and Veltman's actions are alleged to have been motivated by a religious or ideological cause. The attack deeply affected Canada, especially London's Muslim community. The trial is expected to last approximately 3 months. Torrential rain and flooding have resulted in fatalities in Greece, Turkey, and Bulgaria. In Turkey, flash floods in Kırklareli province, near the borders with Bulgaria and Greece, led to the death of at least 2 people, with 4 others still missing. Heavy rainfall in Istanbul caused street and home flooding, disrupting transportation and trapping individuals. Authorities have provided accommodation for those affected by the flooding. Turkey's disaster management agency warned of further rainstorms and associated hazards in the west and southwest of the country. An extratropical cyclone in southern Brazil has caused at least 21 deaths, making it the deadliest weather event ever recorded in Rio Grande do Sul state. The storm, which started on Monday, brought torrential rain, hail, and triggered floods and landslides. Thousands were forced from their homes, with hundreds needing rescue from rooftops in some areas. As more rain is expected, authorities warn of the possibility of further flooding. Experts suggest that climate change and unchecked urbanization may be contributing to the increasing severity of weather disasters in Brazil. U.S. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan commented on China's role at the upcoming G20 summit in New Delhi, stating that it's up to China to decide whether it wants to play a constructive or disruptive role. Sullivan emphasized that the summit should focus on addressing global issues like climate change, multilateral development, and technology, rather than geopolitical tensions. Chinese President Xi Jinping won't attend the summit, with Premier Li Qiang leading the delegation. The U.S. expects all G20 members to contribute constructively, addressing various priorities, including climate, health, digital technology, and infrastructure investment. President Joe Biden has presented the Medal of Honor, the nation's highest military medal, to retired Army Captain Larry Taylor, an 81-year-old Vietnam War helicopter pilot. Taylor's daring rescue mission in 1968 involved disregarding a direct order to return to base and instead flying his Cobra helicopter into a firefight to save 4 U.S. troops surrounded by enemy forces near Ho Chi Minh City. Taylor's actions, described as having complete disregard for his personal safety, made him a Medal of Honor recipient, an award bestowed upon only a select few in U.S. military history. The manhunt for escaped murderer Danilo Cavalcante in southeastern Pennsylvania has shifted after he was spotted just south of the original search area, according to state police. Cavalcante escaped from Chester County Prison and was initially sought in a wooded area near the prison. However, A security camera recorded him at Longwood Gardens, nearly 3 miles away. Authorities have expanded the search perimeter. Cavalcante was convicted of first-degree murder and is described as 5 foot tall, 120 pounds. Nearby school districts were closed due to the manhunt. First Lady Dr. Jill Biden's positive COVID-19 test hasn't prompted a return to pandemic-era protocols at the White House. Despite rising cases, the current situation is far less severe than during the early days of the administration. President Joe Biden's response to the pandemic has been a key focus of his tenure, but the country has largely moved beyond pandemic restrictions. The White House continues its regular operations, with minor precautions like mask wearing in close proximity. The incident underscores the ongoing vigilance needed in the face of COVID-19's unpredictability. Tropical storm Lee has formed in the Atlantic Ocean and is projected to intensify into a highly dangerous hurricane by the weekend, according to the National Hurricane Center, NHC. Lee's current wind speeds are at 45 miles per hour with the potential to become a major hurricane by Friday, posing a threat to the Leeward Islands. It's located approximately 1,300 miles east of the Lesser Antilles, moving west-northwest. Meteorologists anticipate Lee to stay clear of the Leeward Islands and Puerto Rico. This development follows Hurricane Idalia's impact on Florida's west coast and heightened Atlantic hurricane season predictions due to warming ocean temperatures. Former Proud Boys leader Enrique Tarrio has been sentenced to 22 years in prison for his role in orchestrating a failed plot to keep Donald Trump in power after the 2020 election. This marks the harshest sentence yet for individuals involved in the U.S. Capitol attack. Tarrio, who once led the neo-fascist group, apologized for his actions, but was sentenced by U.S. District Judge Timothy Kelly, who emphasized the need to deter future political violence. Tarrio's conviction comes as the Justice Department prepares to put Trump on trial on similar charges.